Hi, everybody. We're delayed. Adelaide hurt herself, so we're delayed at this point. That's why my wife's not in the picture. We're delayed by injury to one of the children. She's okay, but it set everything back, which is not. That's just part of being a parent. Kids get hurt. You're light, Shadow. You want to co-host with me today? And hello, everybody. What? What's your problem? No, there's nothing fun down here. You made her think there's something fun. Yes, you did. Everything's bad for you. Everything. It's all bad for you. Diet soda isn't. It's just flavored water. Really all it is. I know, kitty. Good boy. Yes, you're a good kitty. Oh, Madness is just it's the same board I had the other night. I haven't done anything with it. I'm still debating about what I'm going to do going forward. I'm thinking about putting all the draft rounds, draft picks, and see, who's got which picks and all that stuff. I did not find whatever I was looking for in the thumbnail, no. And yes, we have 3 kids living here. I have a fully grown son that got himself a job this week, so hoping that gets him going. Tough job market right now. We know that, and 2020 is just so tough job market. Rooting for Dallas. Reaction to winning the cup, we recorded. If they won the cup, I would record the reaction. I'm not betting on it though. Will the Sabres get Matt Murray? If they don't, who should be who Sabres get for a goalie? I still like Ullmark. I don't know about a 1A, but I think Ullmark's fine as a 1B. I think the problem was they picked up Hutton with the idea that he'd be he'd be a starter, and he's never really been a starter in his career. So I think that was a miscast for Hutton. But Ullmark's decent as a 1B. If they get Murray, that's fine. But Murray's not really a game changer as a goaltender. I think he'd be better off if Toronto picked him up. If somebody that was already a playoff team picked him up, I think if you're counting on him to get you to the playoffs, he may end up being the wrong guy. Or does Pietrangelo end up wherever pays him the most money from the sounds of it? If he wants $9 million a year, if that rumor is true, that's a lot of money to pay for Pietrangelo. It is a lot, and he's 30. So you're looking at a situation where 3 or 4 years into that contract, it's not looking as good as it might look now. Have I watched The Babysitter Shoot? Not yet. We've been watching Love Island when we get time at night, and so I've caught up on that. Louis Eriksson for year supply diet soda, any team. I can't see Louis Eriksson at this point. I think has actually a negative trade value because of the flat cap and what's going on economically right now. Eriksson has absolutely no value. How long do I think Virtanen will still be a Canuck? Probably not a Canuck by the start of next season. Will be the new captain of the Blues. What do AHL and NHL do next season? I would think that once the NHL season's done, we will have a better idea of what's going to happen there. The AHL is going to be very dependent on when the NHL starts, and so it's all going to be tied together. As for next captain of the Blues, I would think O'Reilly, honestly. Probably Ryan O'Reilly. I'll go with that option. Sorry, I'm also doing something else here. There we go. What can the Sharks do to recover? It's going to be tough because they're spending a lot of money on Carlson and Burns. That makes it tougher for them. Next Oiler goalie. don't know that they're going to make a big change. I still think they believe in Koskinen, and then it'll probably be a move for the 1B to replace Smith unless Smith comes back, which he could. Next captain of the Devils. See, it would have been Green, I would have thought, before he got traded. He sure will be. Maybe use Zajac as the go-between until Heischer's ready. Byfield play 1 year in the NHL. Does he tear up the OHL? Year 1 in the NHL, does he tear up the OHL? He's ready for the NHL right now. Byfield should absolutely be in the NHL. Stützle, Byfield, Lafreniere, they're all ready for the NHL right now. Other trades do I think Adams will make? Will Sabres be active during free agency? I don't know if they're going to be active during free agency, but I don't think he's done with trades necessarily. I think that it's going to be about trying to get them closer to the playoffs and going all in on it. So maybe bring in an older player like, Eric Stahl is an older player. So maybe that's the route they're going to take. And it takes some of the pressure off of Eichel by doing that as well. Hello, Alexis or Alexi. Biggest bust ever. I'll go with Brian Lawton on that. Vancouver let go. I don't think Toffoli's coming back. First overall in the next draft. I believe it's Ratu is how it's pronounced. But we all call him Ratty because we're still too far out from the draft. But that'll probably be the number 1 pick, although it's not as clear cut next year as this year is. So the dilemma is all done then?
Yeah.
She's going to live?
Yeah. I don't have to cut any limbs off.
No surgery?
Nope. I offered, but...
You offered to take parts and
I did. I offered to just
recycle
cut
them,
the
or-
thumb off, and then we wouldn't have to worry about it. Where are you?
I haven't done. How do the Sharks get out of this mess? I really don't know, because they've got so much money right now that's put into their blue line. They need to fix their goaltending, and they need depth. I think they really missed that depth this year. I can't be president because I'm in Canada.
That is true.
Yeah.
Non-Americans.
Okay. I'll
Can't
switch
be
you spots
president.
here. I'm trying to get into
Especially non-Americans that aren't even allowed in the country right now.
I just made a purchase
So,
and it's not letting me look
Yeah,
at it.
Adelaide's okay. I don't know. Did you explain what I was doing?
Just that she got hurt.
Yeah, she was cutting up zucchini. We were grating it up to bake something later, and she cut her thumb.
See,
with
that's
one
why I
of the
don't eat
knives.
vegetables.
But luckily we have really sharp knives, so
Look, I'm good for you, and I'm trying to kill you.
well, no, if you use a dull blade, it'd be worse. So it was very sharp cut. So while it bled a decent amount, we got it sealed really well, and we have all the first aid stuff. So
Yeah, if you get cut with a sharp knife, it usually will be a clean cut.
yeah. So once we got the bleeding to stop, you can barely even see where the cut is right now.
Yep.
So I made sure I got we have the
I
tape
saw that a lot at my old
seals
job.
it shut really well, and then put a pretty glow in the dark bandage over the top, because that makes it instantly better.
Yeah.
If it's purple and glows in the dark, that makes it hurt less.
She'll want to keep pressure on it though.
Yeah, that's what I told her. We have it wrapped. I cut the bandage, and
I don't think the border's going to reopen until
no.
everything is
gonna
a
be a
lot more
while.
under control. It's going to be a while. I'm thinking spring. I think it'll be spring before it opens up again.
Is it still smoky out there? Today it's not.
Today it's nice.
This is
It's
the
actually
first
nice.
day.
I can see the trees. I can see a distance.
We actually have a
I can
window
breathe. I've got
open.
the window. Windows are open. It's nice out.
I'm not wearing a mask.
Cats have been bugging to get that window open, and then I open it and I go, yeah, whatever.
It's been raining. My
Yeah.
voice is still a little bit shot, but
It's because I got air
Yeah.
purifiers.
I know.
I got the air
I still
purifiers,
have the
and then
air
it cleared right
purifier
up.
on upstairs.
Cleared right up.
Um,
It's like, oh, you
yeah,
get air
we can actually see-
purifiers, so that's
If
no
this
fun.
keeps like this tomorrow, I might even be able to go on a walk outside.
It's supposed to.
which is nice. I haven't been able to go outside.
So I'm eating these. If you're curious about these, go over to the entertainment guy. There's a video on there.
Do you have any plans for this evening?
Hockey, and then watch Love Island. I swear, if they break up Johnny and Sally, I'm going to be just so choked.
You know that you cater to the kiddies when you need a Band-Aid and all you find are Spider-Man plasters. We've had the problem of needing a Band-Aid and all of them have cartoons. And, well, I guess you get My Little Pony. So,
Yep.
Yeah. Yes, Shannon got purifiers. Then I could breathe a little bit.
I haven't even got mine unpacked yet. It's in here.
I know. It's right there. I noticed that. And I was thinking, what in the world? Why don't you have that? As soon as we got it, I unplugged
air
it.
Cleaner. Well, I haven't had as much trouble, and then it started clearing up.
I have done absolutely horrible with this smoke. It has been awful.
So I may just put this in our room.
Will there be more news from the future this coming fall? Yes, in a room would be great.
Yeah. I'll be doing news from the future during the off season because we don't know how long the off season is going to be. So I'll get creative with it.
It's important to teach kids how to use a knife properly.
Right. And respect for it.
Again, that's how was able to cut herself because I actually have the kids cook. So yeah, she's 7. And yep, she was absolutely grating up the zucchini so we can bake it. Our kids cook. I make them do a lot of stuff. We'll make them. They enjoy it for the most part.
I was a first aid attendant in a meatpacking plant. We had a bunch of cutters, so there's nothing they can't do that I haven't seen.
Let's get cooking.
That's right. Let's get cooking.
Think they could get an exception for the NHL and AHL, CHL for border crossing.
Something modified, maybe, but they don't want to do full-on exceptions because then that opens up
all sorts of crap.
Pandora's box, and then all kinds of people are going to be complaining. People complained about the bubble setup here, so they'll work on something modified for next year, but it's going to have to be between the federal government, and it's going to have to be something that's going to affect the rest of Canada too, because it is not fair to have one set of rules for millionaire athletes and then one set of rules for everybody else.
Don't let them use a mandolin without the safety. I actually don't let them use my mandolin. That is one. There are a few kitchen things I don't let them use yet. No, I have let Adelaide use it with me there. Yeah, and I have taught them about it has the safety that like grabs it. That's one they don't get to use without me right there. They do a lot of cooking that I don't have to be hovering over them. The mandolin's one, I have to be right there. Yeah. Same with the spiralizer. They're not allowed to use that one unattended either because it has lots of tiny little blades. Yeah, I did that one.
Did the Sabres trade either Risto or Reinhardt? Ristolainen's likely. I think Ristolainen's been on the market on and off, I think, for the last couple of years. I think it's likely with Kevin Adams in charge, he could go. Maybe he sits down with Eichel, with Stahl, with some of the core guys, and gets feedback from some of them on, what the plan needs to be going forward, having a cohesive plan. Like, obviously, they're not going to decide on trades and everything, but just a vision of, so how can we make this better? How will you guys feel better? Eichel's case, I think it's important to him that he has some kind of feedback on how things are going.
Will we see Yvonne tasting some of the salt and hot licorice? I don't.
You like these ones?
I do. Yeah, I think I tried those last time. I think he's talking about he got you the 2 hot ones.
Oh yeah.
There's the sour and hot. I wouldn't do the really spicy ones. I can do a little bit of hot, but very hot makes my stomach hurt.
True.
So I don't generally eat that, but maybe.
How were you with that bite of Scotch bonnet there yesterday?
That was too hot. Yeah, that was too hot.
It's a burger from McDonald's that I think is fantastic, but it's the sauce. It's not the burger.
Yeah,
it's the sauce.
Right.
I love the sauce.
The burger would. It's a big chicken nugget.
It's not a big chicken nugget.
It is too.
It's not.
It is. It's a big chicken nugget.
I've already started ordering stickers with the old Senators logo because now I can make magnets out of those. So, because now that's the new logo too, except instead of saying Ottawa Senators, It's got the leaf around it.
Right.
So I'm going to start a rumor that they took Ottawa Senators off the logo because they're going to move the team. And
people don't believe you. Oh my gosh, Shannon, that was spread so quick. Okay, love the content.
Absolutely.
Here's a couple euros from Finland.
Thank you, Finland.
Thank you. picking out my Kraken tickets next week. Where's your favorite place to sit in the upper bowl?
Upper bowl.
Upper bowl, we generally sit in the middle-ish.
Yeah, center ice is kind of the best for the center ice.
Because you can see
lower bowl is
all
different.
of the ice. Yeah, you can see all of the ice really well if you're in the upper bowl, even if you're all the way in the back. If you're center-ish, you can see really well.
Anywhere between the blue lines.
Yeah, that's usually where we sit.
Yep, anywhere between the blue lines.
Yeah.
Your cheapest seats are going to be in a corner, but views are going to be, it's going to be tough to tell what's going on in the far corner from there. So, yeah, center ice.
Am I the only Ottawa fan who doesn't like the 2D logo?
Probably, apparently.
Anybody like it?
No, most of them are telling me.
Never heard anybody before this. You know what logo we need to do?
Most of them are telling me Ottawa fans love the 2D logo. They're so glad they're going back to it. So I've got a couple of them on the way. I ordered a couple. They'll be the same size as the ones I normally use for game day previews and reviews. Same size.
Yeah, I know.
Because they're going to complain if I use the one that they've been using until now, because that's how people work.
Did I miss the super chat? Okay, hold on.
Did you miss one again?
D'Angelo is on the move.
I think so. Okay, of the top 5, yes, I would say so.
Who's your favorite team, and will Dumba be traded?
Favorite team is Minnesota. Dumba appears to be on the block, so we'll see. Already went through that one.
No,
I already went through that one.
Seeing another one.
I think that's it. I think that's right about where you came in. Yeah.
Okay, I don't see another one.
Yeah, you're good. I think you're good. Where's Bear going? What's wrong with him?
Okay.
Nobody coming up. I don't know what your problem is.
Vaughn, how are you? I'm pretty good. I can actually breathe today, and I don't have a permanent headache, which after a week, that's kind of nice. Will we see more expansion in the NHL post Seattle?
Any player you think go to Seattle? If so, who? Tyler Johnson's the most likely because he's from there. But with his contract, I don't know. We'll see. And then the big key one that I'll be looking at is goaltenders. And which goaltenders are going to be available, because we don't know yet which goaltenders are going to be available.
There we go. Who do the Blues sign, or do they go with the team they have?
They're going to need a blue liner. If Pietrangelo leaves, and it looks like Pietrangelo's going to the market, they have to get another blue liner. So they'll be in on Torrey Krug, who I think will probably have a lower cap hit than Pietrangelo. But that's what they need. They need to make sure that their blue line doesn't start to degrade, because if it does, they'll be out of contender status pretty quick.
Stamkos to Rangers. Thoughts? What would it take?
I don't know. The Rangers would want to do that with the flat cap and Stamkos' health. Tampa Bay, absolutely. If they win the Stanley Cup and don't need Stamkos to do it, they'd be foolish not to look at trading Stamkos. To get him, I would think it'd be a first, probably a prospect. And then other than that, Tampa would probably be pretty happy, because then they're saving that cap space and they can use that to keep Cirelli and Sergachev.
Oh, there's what I asked earlier. Will we see an expansion after Seattle?
No, I don't think so.
Who wins the World Series?
I'll go with the Yankees because I can't stand them. That's usually the way that works.
Did you ever play ice hockey?
Professionally, no. Have I done it? Yes. And that was where when I scored a goal, I was like, hey, you know what? Yeah, because it's still the same sport. It's just now it's on skates rather than, because he'd seen I was good at floor hockey. He's like, oh, it's still, hey, it's different, but I still know the basics. It's not like I'm going to look at a hockey stick and go, what does this do? I don't understand. I'm confused.
Can you explain what the flat cap means?
The salary cap will not change over the next, I believe it's past this year. It's at least 2 years, maybe 3. It won't start going up again until league revenues rebound to what they were pre-pandemic. It could take a long time. So it means that while general managers normally are spending money with the assumption the cap's going to keep going up, now they can't. So some of those contracts they signed that they said, hey, we can justify this 2 or 3 years from now. Now they can't, and it's going to mean a lot of players are going to get squeezed out economically by the new setup.
Can the Flyers follow up this year if we have the same roster?
Yeah, I like the Flyers. The Flyers, they just had problems with their finishing during the playoffs. I still like the team. I still think they're in good shape. And they can end their long drought without a Stanley Cup. It's not going to be easy, but they can do it.
Best Canadian beer?
Molson.
No.
Molson Dark.
Gross.
I don't even think they have Molson Dark anymore, but I think Molson Dark was my favorite that I ever had.
Gross. I don't know.
So,
what do you think the Sharks can do and or will do?
Sharks, it's all about their goaltending. Dell's UFA. They're going to need to get some kind of an upgrade in net. I think Jones would be on the market if somebody was willingly able to and wanting to take him. And then outside of that, it's the depth, and they were hurt a lot by injuries, and they really missed Pavelski this year. It's not going to be easy. I don't think they get back in the playoffs next year.
Hello from the Okanagan. Canucks fan
Howdy.
here. Hypothetically, if Canada was given another NHL franchise, where do you think it would be?
Probably a third one in Ontario. Probably not that close to Toronto. I could maybe see Hamilton. I think Kingston was the other one that people talked about a lot too. You have enough of a population in Ontario to support another team. I think if the NHL really wanted to just print money, they'd put another team in Toronto. They'd have another arena in Toronto, put a second team in Toronto. There's other areas in sports where you see two teams in the same city. I don't think they do it, but if they wanted to make money, it would work.
Thoughts on the proposed Canadian-only division and American-only division plan for next season if they cannot figure out the border issue?
I can't see that working. Because you only have 7 Canadian teams.
Yeah, that.
And it's still the travel in Canada, because you've got all of the time zones in there. I don't know that it works.
Do you think Carolina moves another defenseman?
They don't need to, but I could see Pesce having enough value, and I could see Pesce being moved potentially.
Hello from Germany. If Athanasiou becomes UFA, do you see a market for him for $3 million per, or do you see him re-signing with the Oilers for less in the end?
If Edmonton doesn't qualify him, I don't know that with the current economic situation he'd get $3 million per. I think he'd probably have to take a bridge deal and kind of a prove it deal. $3 million's probably the going rate he would have got pre-pandemic. I don't know if he can get that now. You'd have to find a GM that believes that he can get it back, his scoring touch.
If Quebec voted to become a country, what would have happened to the NHL? And I ask any players who want to go to Seattle not be picked by Seattle.
Oh, players will definitely want to go to Seattle. There's no reason not to want to go to Seattle. Seattle's a beautiful city and good sports town too. If Quebec had become a country, I don't think it would have affected anything necessarily.
Yeah.
Their plan wasn't to be a 100% autonomous country exactly. They wanted to keep the Canadian dollar, and they really just kind of wanted the Canadian government to stay out of their business. So it was a country,
like everything else,
but not 100% country.
But...
So, and they don't really have the natural resources to just be a country all by themselves. So I can't see it ever being an issue. I don't think it would have affected the NHL if they had tried to do it.
I don't think they'll try to do that anymore, though. Hello from Mission.
Howdy, Mission.
Man, I'm glad for the rain here in the valley. The smoke is getting brutal. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was
very
bad.
Grateful for the rain.
Very, very bad. Yeah.
That was
I'm just glad the wind changed directions. So now it's out of the west, so it's all going elsewhere.
Somebody else can have the smoke now.
Yeah.
It'll dissipate a bit as it travels, though. What is your favorite goal song?
Right now it's the Dallas Stars one from Pantera. Right now, because they're
right.
Where they're at.
Choices.
Yeah.
Honest brain out of it, going by heart here. Is there a chance the Wings manage to squeak into the playoffs within the next 2 years?
2 years, yes. Next year, no. I think that, again, because of the economy and what's going on, I think Detroit can really take advantage here. And if Yzerman makes the right moves right now, then not this coming season, but the one after, they could be really competitive.
What NHL team will Wayne Simmons
go to next season?
I think so.
Simmons, it's going to be interesting because we may end up with some sort of a bidding war for his services. I will say, I think at this point he's a bit overrated, a little bit. I don't like to use that term, but I think that what people are expecting from him may be more than what he'll provide right now. Vancouver wanted him a couple of times. I could see him in Vancouver, and I could see him in Toronto as well.
Your reaction if Fleury signs with the Red Wings?
I don't think Marc-Andre Fleury will go to the Red Wings. I think that the idea that Fleury is going to be moved by Vegas, it's possible.
Vegas fans would have a meltdown.
He'll have a say in where he goes, and he won't want to go to a Detroit team that is in full rebuild. I think it'll be a team that's maybe on the verge of playoffs. Your best option would be to trade him to the East, but they may not have a choice in that.
Do you see the Wild and Guerin making a move for a top-line center? If so, who do you think is the biggest target?
Bill Guerin's moved so far to add Bjugstad and Johansson with the idea of apparently improving the center depth. There does seem to be some movement there looking for another forward. I don't know how many teams are offering up centers, even if they've got Dumba out there. I don't know how many centers would be available. This is where, if a Stamkos rumor were to come to fruition, that would make sense if Stamkos was the target for the number one center spot for Minnesota. And that would be perfect for Guerin for what he's trying to do in a short period of time here. But I don't know very many teams that have extra centers that they're willing to offer up.
Should Edmonton propose a blockbuster trade for Laine to get McDavid his winger? And if so, should Edmonton offer for Laine?
I think Yamamoto is going to be that winger. And I think the plan's going to be simple too. I think for Ken Holland, ideally he'd like to get Puljujarvi back into the fold. Laine is going to be very expensive, both via trade and then whatever he's worth at the end of this contract with Winnipeg. He's going to be a very, very expensive player. And you're going to end up with a situation in Edmonton, like we've seen with some other teams, where you're going to have some guys making a lot of money at the top, and it's going to be hard to fill out the roster. They've already got Draisaitl. They've already got McDavid. If you add Laine and his $8 or $9 million, which he's going to be worth at the end of this contract, I think you're definitely kneecapping yourself against the salary cap. So I don't think Laine to Edmonton makes much sense, especially when you've got Yamamoto coming in and Puljujarvi may very well come back.
I think Simmons is in denial about how badly he regressed.
Probably, but I think most players are. You believe that you can get it back, or, well, yeah, I had a bad year, but at some point the bad years add up and then you're out of the league.
Okay. Just making sure.
What did you do?
Well, I'm just checking to see if it skipped over anything. Okay. When we buy chats, do you get the money?
A portion of the super chats. Most of the money goes it. And again, Patreon, I don't see all of the money on Patreon either.
It's more
some of it's going to be
the
shared.
Ad revenue. The ad revenue is like 50-50 with Google.
Yep.
Super chats, it does lean more towards us than most ad revenue. What does Yvonne think of the Sens logo? I think it's really weird that they went with that one. They get to choose anything.
They didn't fix the face.
And they went to that. Right. It's a weird looking one. And I had never seen anybody saying that they wish they went back to that. I've seen people say they wanted to go to the O, and then other people saying they hated that one. But at least I saw people talking about that one.
Yeah.
I never saw people saying they wanted to go to the old logo.
Yeah.
I've seen people make fun of it. So I thought it was really weird that they went to that. And then I was hoping that since they went to that, since now it's with Adidas and it's been so long since they had that logo, that maybe they would jazz it up somehow with the computerized machines that now stitch it and how Adidas does it. Like if you look at the Golden Knights on how within the gold, there's like embroidery within it. They could do something fun with that. Maybe. I doubt it.
So again, it says Ottawa Senators in here.
The
new one, it's all leaf all the way around.
Something fun, and I think
so. Melnick wants to move the team. The first move to move the team is take Ottawa Senators out.
Don't listen to Shannon.
Tell all your friends. This is proof Melnick wants to move them. They're going to be the Reno Gladiators to go against the Vegas Golden Knights.
Don't listen to Shannon.
He's going to move the team to Reno. Pay off his gambling debts.
People are going to spread.
Paying off his gambling debts by moving a team to Nevada. He's like, hey, Nevada. Hey, I know I owe gambling debts. What if I give you a hockey team? Huh? There you go. Yeah, there you go.
Don't listen to Shannon.
It's going to happen.
Don't listen to Shannon.
It's going to happen.
Okay.
You know it's going to be all over the web now that
I know it will. That's why I'm saying don't listen. Stuff, random crap. And hey, did you hear this rumor? No, guys.
The Reno Caesars.
Think about it. That rumor doesn't even make sense.
The Reno Caesars.
Yes, we get those emails all the time.
Just think of all the salad tie-ins.
No, gosh. Okay, does the Blue Jacket trade Corpy or Elvis this offseason?
Nope. They're both on very team-friendly deals. Their cap hits are fantastic. There's no need to trade either of them.
Did we see that the U.S. president said that Canada wanted the border open? We did see that, and then we left. Because that's not a thing. It's really, really not a thing.
What'd you do? You bounced over.
I know. It skips. It likes to skip the...
Subban has a future of play-by-play? Yeah. I think so. I think with what we've seen with Kevin BX, I think we've got to start understanding there's a lot of guys in the league that can talk, and you don't always have to keep the same guys.
Arrived late, but in case no one asks, what will happen to Armstrong in Arizona? I'm worried, Coyotes fan, and just want them to do good.
Bill Armstrong's a good hockey mind. Very smart guy. I would expect to probably see some trades. The OEL stuff is out there. I think Ekman Larsson probably gets traded. And I think there'll be some kind of a revamp. I wonder how much autonomy he has. I wonder if ownership's going to give him full control or if they're going to want some say in things. And I think the Taylor Hall signing is going to be what decides whether it's right now that they're going for it or maybe there's a little bit of a grace period for him. If they re-sign Taylor Hall, then they have to be in the playoffs next year.
Where did you get your Grand Rapids jersey?
From the AHL site, the AHL store. 10% off sale. Cool Hockey sale changed too. Now it's just 30% off of teams that aren't in the playoffs.
So will we get to see your genuine reaction if the Stars win the cup? Maybe a full freak out? Either way, these finals go. It's going to be physical.
I don't think it'll be a full freak out. It'll be a yell. It'll be a scream.
Doesn't do full freak out.
I really don't.
Dances.
There is a dance.
Usually, he dances.
There's a dance.
Yeah.
There's some dancing that happens.
Yeah.
More for the Canucks, though, than anything else.
We are not streaming the game.
No.
Nope. Fleury Penn's reunion is unlikely, but interesting.
I don't think there's any dislike on either side in that one. I think if Pittsburgh found a way to make it work, and I mean, Vegas would have to eat some cap. They're probably going to have to anyways if they decide to trade him, but it could work. If Pittsburgh decided that they were going to move Matt Murray and Marc-Andre Fleury comes back in as to be the 1B to Jari, I think it could work because there's mutual respect between the Penguins and Fleury.
What do the Habs need?
Patience. The Habs aren't that far off. Their goaltending is solid now with adding Jake Allen as the backup. I think their forward group is really quite good now that Kotkaniemi's realizing his potential, and Suzuki's one of the best two-way forwards in the game already. And their blue line is going to get a lot more solid with Edmondson being added and Romanov's coming in, and Romanov's ready. So I think the Habs future is pretty good.
Why would the NHL schedule back-to-back games in the finals? Don't they realize it makes for bad, sloppy hockey? Because
there's a game on Friday and they want to make sure there's a game on Saturday next week. So they're trying to make sure that they're maximizing their viewership by having a game for Hockey Night in Canada and for Saturdays in the States. They don't want to have a game on Sundays and compete with football south of the border. So it's a scheduling thing more than anything else.
Since there's no fans, they can go whenever.
Yeah, and they're trying to maximize their audience because that That gets better ad rates for the networks. The networks probably would have asked for it as well. Said, look, if you can have games on Saturday, we need them on Saturday.
They're not making any revenue with people being
Yep.
there, so they have to do everything different.
Yep.
Ekblad to Vancouver, yes or no?
Please no. I like Ekblad, but he's not the defenseman the Canucks need because he's all offense. And the Canucks already allow too many shots. I'd like to see a good two-way forward or two-way defenseman brought in. I don't think Ekblad works, and he would be very expensive. The Canucks would have to pay a lot in terms of potentially players and picks in order to get Ekblad. I love Ekblad, but not for Vancouver's blue line.
Which GM's job is in the most jeopardy with how they handle the flat cap this offseason, and why is it Jim Benning who will likely lose his job?
I could see Benning's going to be in trouble because the Canucks, now the pressure's on. So now it's time where the Canucks have to make the playoffs, and fans are not going to accept this team falling back. And if they fall back because of his overspending on guys like Eriksson and Beagle and Roussel, it's going to bite him. But there's 14 teams within $10 million of the salary cap right now. There's going to be some interesting moves. That's why I think John Chayka it was a preemptive move on his part, because I think Chayka's job in Arizona was going to be on the line anyways next year. And with the fact that they were up against the cap already, I think him leaving just sped up the process.
If the Canada-US border opens, will you start traveling right away?
No.
We don't even go to the grocery store right now, and those are open. We would curbside.
We would cross the border just to get our stuff that's in the States.
I don't think I'd be comfortable even going to the American grocery stores.
Nope. It's not going to happen.
No, we're very cautious.
We won't be traveling until things are a lot more calm.
Spread.
So, yeah. If the American border was open, we would not be flying to Vegas or California right now. There's no chance.
No.
Won't be getting on an airplane until things settle down.
How close do we live to America? We can see it.
I can see it. Yep.
We can see it. Well, now that there's not smoke, now we can see it. Now. Yeah.
Hi, States. Won't be seeing it for a while.
We live, I think, 4 kilometers if we walk south.
If I walk for an hour to the south, I'm at the border.
Yeah. Yeah, but are either of you high risk? I have asthma.
I'm in my late 40s. Smoke. So, yeah, I've seen people my age that end up in the hospital. And I don't know how good my heart is, and I don't want to find out that way. That's a bad way to find out.
Even if we weren't high risk, we'd like to not test this out.
I want somebody to say, well, Shannon passed away, but it turned out he had a bad ticker and he didn't even know. It's a really bad way to find out.
He had pre-existing conditions.
I don't. Nah, it's not the way to find out. It's not.
We're liking to not test this theory.
Yeah.
So
I feel better not testing it.
Yeah. When do jerseys go on sale? All the time.
Again, Cool Hockey, like I said, they have the 30% off right now on any teams that are eliminated from the playoffs. They had been 40%, which, when you factor in the customized stitching, is a great deal. So I was taking advantage of that deal, and I'm glad I did, because that sale's gone away. But like NHL, usually it's 20% off. It's been 20% off on a lot of things since the pause in March. It's just a matter of, there's certain sites I visit daily, even Yvonne. It's like, what are you doing? Why are you looking at jerseys?
I do have to.
You have all the jerseys.
Stop looking. You have.
Why are you looking at it? And it's usually because I'll look at, I'll have like this, go, well, yeah, this is in good shape, but there's a stain, and I might be able to find one in some better condition.
It's true.
In this case, that's not the case. This is in very good shape. I got this one not long ago, actually. Yeah. One way to tell with CCMs
is if it still has
is if that's there, that's really good, because I have a bunch of old CCMs that's gone. So if that's still there,
where it was, yeah.
Well, what's weird too is I've found some jerseys I haven't bought because the CCM logo is right smack dab in the middle, and I never saw CCM logos right smack dab in the middle. They're supposed to be on the side. So I look at that and I go, so it's a fake then? I don't know.
Maybe. Got tested yesterday, came back negative. That's good. Where am I? I see one. There's a few others. Okay. I'm just trying to make sure it doesn't skip over. I don't know if you guys see it with the chat, but it'll just skip to the bottom, and I'm always worried I'm missing super chats.
She misses them regularly because she's getting to that age.
He's joking, but I do miss
getting to that age.
It skips right over. It has nothing to do with how old I am.
Once you reach that age,
whatever. He's one to talk.
And once you reach that age,
anyways,
last things start to slip.
Me from about the Wild, who is going to be the starting goalie for the Wild? How socially?
I don't think they have their starting goalie right now. Stalock was the better goalie this year, but I think Guerin's been pretty clear that he'd rather see things change. So I think Stalock probably gets the backup job next year. The starter's probably going to be one of those names we've seen out there. Maybe he takes a flyer on Crawford for a year. Maybe Crawford crosses into another Central Division territory and plays goal for them for a year. I think Dubnyk's out. And Kokkonen is really the wild card in this because he looked good when he was called up. He may be ready to be the backup. Maybe Guerin blows the whole thing up and gets rid of Stalock and Dubnyk.
My hands actually aren't cold. It's not freezing. It's 17 degrees.
You're not cold today.
I'm glad it's not 30 still. Yeah, I'm actually not cold yet.
Oh, 30 degrees is gone.
I've got on a hoodie, so can be all nice and warm.
And we were gifted hoodies from the Canucks store yesterday for bringing back pictures, for me being honest.
Can't use caps. Well, awesome. I hate it when people use all caps. I don't know if you notice. I don't read those comments.
No.
Do jerseys ever go 40%? Sometimes. Rarely. Sometimes.
Like I said, 40% off was the deal on Cool Hockey.
I missed a super chat.
What did you do?
Will Tuukka be a starting goalie for Boston? That's what I was just talking about. I miss him sometimes.
Is that it?
No, that's one I haven't read yet. Gosh, there are more of them.
There you go.
Skipped past a bunch. Okay.
Okay, so there's that.
All right. Did you answer that?
No,
one?
I haven't seen that one.
No, the one I just asked you. About
this
Tuukka.
one?
No, about Tuukka.
I just answered about Tuukka. Tuukka's still the starter next year. Who's on second?
Will the Canucks buy out Suter and Berchi?
It doesn't make financial sense to buy out Sutter, but Berchi, it's possible. You don't get as much cap relief with that, though. There are going to be a lot of buyouts. They're going to be, and the Canucks are in a position where they may have to. And sadly, Eriksson's contract isn't one that you can buy out without ending up with a huge cap penalty. The cap penalty that stands out, of course, is Luongo's, which is going to be there for a while. And Canuck fans love it when it's brought up.
Dr. Fauci said third quarter next year, things should be back to normal.
Right. And there'll be a transition period between. That's in the States.
Summer will be.
That's in the States. Yeah. And from what I've seen with Canada, it looks like not necessarily normal, but we may have things figured out by, I would think, March of next year.
Under
March is kind of what I'm looking
at.
Yeah.
Do the Jackets grab a big free agency name this offseason to stay competitive in the Metro next season, or stay put and roll the dice?
Everything Kekalainen's been saying, it sounds like Jarmo has no interest in big name free agents and fixing the scoring issues from within. He's high on guys like Bemstrom. He thinks that Bjorkstrand can step it up and Atkinson can get the scoring back. So I don't think he wants to try to spend his way out of it. I think he has faith in the team that they've assembled.
Somebody asked the cheapest Adidas you've had.
I haven't got it yet. Dick's Sporting Goods had a sale that I guess it's real, where and I say I guess because I haven't seen the jerseys yet. They're supposed to arrive tomorrow, I think, at the post office box. So we'll see whether or not they're real. And that's in the States, so I won't see them right away. I think Erik Karlsson was $4.97, and it was a Sharks Stealth jersey, and Tyler Sagan was $5.47. It was ridiculous.
Okay, it skipped over a bunch of super chats, so I'm trying to get them all. Thoughts on a Kachuk, Byfield, Raymond potential?
Byfield probably ends up going to LA. I would hope they'd take Stützle just because I think Stützle is the better player between Byfield and Stützle, but it's close. If they do take a forward at 3, I think Drysdale goes at 5. Drysdale has the potential to be an excellent defenseman. So while they have other defensive prospects, I really honestly think that for the Senators, they should take Drysdale at 5. And if they don't, if they get Byfield and they get Raymond, that would be absolutely fantastic. Raymond looks awesome.
I don't even have my phone. Okay.
Who
replaces Doc Emmerich and when?
Doc Emmerich. There's a lot of names out there that I would think could replace him, but I think Forsland. I think Forsland is going to replace him, and it'll be as soon as Emmerich wants to retire. John Forsland's the best, though.
What ways could the U.S. improve the broadcasting of hockey? Okay,
explain it. More explanation without trying to make people feel stupid at the same time. So it's a matter of explaining it to casuals who might be getting into the game without
using all those hockey terms.
Yeah, without making it sound like they're dumbing the game down. So you don't need like Fox Tracks pucks and all these weird special effects. Just, explain the game just for people who might be tuning in the States that don't normally watch. One of the reasons this channel blew up was because I was actually doing that with Vegas when they came in. And I still, I try to, when I do reviews, I try to make sure I'm talking about the game, and I try to make sure I'm doing it in such a way so that if somebody's new to the game, they kind of get a better feel for things, because I know TV doesn't really explain it.
At what point do the Habs use the farm and picks that they have to load up for one big push for Price and Weber?
I think this year Montreal goes kind of steady as she goes. They may take another swing at an offer sheet. I don't think they do. I think that would be crazy, but Bergevin's been crazy before. And then I think then the following season after this one, that's when you load it up and try to go for it.
Okay, I think I got them all.
I hope so.
If I missed one, just
I don't want to say anything, but there are a couple people out for your job. There are a couple people who really, have been after your job for a while, and I'm just saying the movie industry right now isn't what it was, and
I don't know that they would appreciate the pay for the job, though.
Jennifer Lawrence is quite clear on how much she expects, and we're pretty close on contract. So, but I told her at this point my wife still has the job, and she said, "All right, well, let me know if that changes." And so. Yeah, that's as far as I can go. I really can't say anything else.
Right. What did you get at McDonald's?
Snack stuff. Because, snack stuff.
He got that Scotch bonnet.
The Scotch bonnet chicken burger is fantastic. It's the sauce. It's not the chicken. I do not like McChickens, but the Scotch bonnet sauce is fantastic.
Pass.
It's just spicy enough. And if I eat it too fast, I get hiccups. I don't understand why spicy food gives me hiccups. I haven't figured that out yet, because it doesn't happen with anything else. But with the Scotch bonnet, if I eat it too fast, I get hiccups. Not sure why that is.
Does Sergachev and or Chiarelli get offer sheeted? If so, which teams?
It's possible that I would think Chiarelli would be more vulnerable to an offer sheet, because it's easier to price Chiarelli to a point where the Lightning just aren't going to match. Sergachev, I think any offer less than $6.5 million, and Tampa has to match, because even if it's say first and a third, first and a second, I can't see how it's worth losing Sergachev. It is possible, though highly unlikely, that Steve Yzerman would wade into that. It is also highly unlikely Ottawa would wade into that. And I guess Columbus, not on Sergachev, but maybe on Chiarelli. But again, it's tough because we have this economic slowdown, and I don't know that you want to pull the trigger on that right now.
Well, Bears discovered the windows open finally.
Well, there was a bird out there she was looking at.
Please explain the War of 1812 deal.
So it all started out because of the Gary Bettman video, which is why we have the Gary Bettman "It's all Gary Bettman's fault" T-shirt.
Oh my gosh!
Because it started with that.
Have you seen the comments on that?
Yeah,
people think we're serious.
It started with that, which is the idea that Bettman is the reason for all the evil in the world. Bettman's the reason that everything has been garbage in the world for a very long time, dating back centuries. That I stated that he was a vampire. I stated a lot of things about Gary Bettman in that video, and that everything was his fault.
The War of 1812.
And the War of 1812 got thrown in to that video.
Because you had talked about it for it's been forever.
Because it's my favorite history thing ever. The War of 1812 is my favorite
likes
history
to make
thing
up
ever.
science and
So
make
I
up
just
history.
added to it. I just added to it. Okay, Bear,
And he's always adding to it. And
get your paw down.
he's ridiculous because he remembers the stupid crap he says.
Yeah, huh? Do not start climbing the screen. There's a bird right out there. She's trying
Are
to
you
climb
guys
the screen.
doing Halloween this year? We're
Kind of.
doing Quarantine-a-ween.
So I have a whole bunch of entertainment guy jerseys. I have a bunch of, I have like a Jedi cloak. I have a bunch of stuff that I can do. I've got my Freddy glove and Freddy hat. I've got my Jason Voorhees machete and mask. I'm set. So during Halloween month, gonna have some fun on the entertainment guy and dress up in various costumes and outfits. And yeah, I'm gonna have some fun with that. We're having an all month Halloween.
Yeah, I've explained to the kids we're doing Halloween stuff all month because we don't get to do anything fun this year anyways.
And then I'm gonna get Yvonne to watch some horror movies that month. So
I don't really watch horror. But I've already I made myself a dragon dress because of course I did.
And then we'll be reviewing
a dragon dress and a vampire dress and a bunny top. Made a bunch. Yeah, it's fun. Why somebody said that we seem like a couple that argues all the time. We actually never argue. Like honestly, we
see she has to keep this narrative up. See, and then there's the passive aggressive that just showed up there. She could snap my neck if she wanted to.
Whatever.
Right
no, that's not true at all.
There's this
Shannon finds it way too
really
funny that he can
physicalness that she can sort of
physicalness.
Okay, that's not.
We actually don't.
It's a bad
argue.
touch.
We really, really don't. No, we don't. Okay,
we can though.
But
if we wanted to, we could.
I suppose we don't though. Okay.
See? So they're right in a way.
When will you be on dumpster fire?
I
don't know what that is.
I assume that's something related to the Senators.
Okay, hold on. It skipped.
What did you skip now?
No, well, I'm just...
What did you do?
Well, I know it skipped some super chat, so I was scrolling up to make sure there weren't any others. Okay, right. I think the Habs make a big move to give themselves a 2-year window with this core, and then they can reset the roster with the UFAs coming off the books.
Gallagher comes off next year. Tatar comes off next year. There's a number of big names that are up next year. So I kind of lean towards, in the case of Tatar, at least see what his value is and maybe move him, and definitely keep Gallagher. There's enough players there that they can look at building on what they did in the playoffs this year, but I still think the best investment is to wait until a year from now.
Do you think the prolonged black cap would have an influence on parity in the NHL?
It should. It should mean that teams that have, the best players have a hard time keeping everybody together, and it'll likely increase parity across the board. But it's also going to increase the number of players who end up going to Europe because they can't get a contract in the National Hockey League.
Bettman's fine. He's a businessman doing what he was hired to do. He's not evil or anything of the sort.
No,
exactly.
I agree. He works for the owners.
I think the hate for Bettman is kind of funny, and how people blame
that's
everything
how it's
on
designed.
Him. It's so.
That's how it's designed to work.
It's silly.
It'd be sort of like if Shadow was the CEO of the channel, and every time I do something or say something in video people don't like, I could be like, "Hey, Shadow's the boss. He's in charge." And so for the owners, they don't have to worry so much about the public being mad at them, because in the end, people just will blame Bettman, and Shadow's as much the guy running this channel as Bettman runs the NHL.
Little pair. Okay, what are the banners in the back? Favorite teams?
Nope, just banners banners I found for cheap, and the pennants are going to come down, and the pictures I didn't get for cheap on the Canucks site through their auctions are going to be going up. And then we'll be redesigning that once we get through the Stanley Cup Finals. I'll move my silver button probably over that way too, and we'll move things around.
He just has all the hockey and rotates it every once in a while.
Yep.
Favorite horror villain / antagonist? Mine is Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers.
Freddy probably overall. I know if I have a nightmare and Freddy's in it, it's usually not too bad. If it's Jason, it's always just messed up. Probably Freddy. I remember in high school, I used to dream about Freddy being like a buddy of mine in high school and offering to kill the bullies for me. So, it was nice. He was always nicer. He always seemed like he had a good sense of humor and he was a nice guy. And he'd just come up behind people like this and just nod at me like this one. I'd be like, no, just don't. How about this one?
Such
No,
a
just
weirdo.
don't. What? You never dreamt about taking Freddy to school with you? And
no. That's no.
I had a dream once that Freddy was like, trying to kill me, and I kept telling him, stop it. Just knock it off. But I'm going to, no, stop. He kind of gets pouty, and then every time I turn my back, he'd be, knifing somebody. Stop doing that. You can't hang out with me if you're going to do that.
Okay.
That'd be a good movie.
Would you do a video about goaltender Jim Carrey and his career?
I can do something like that. I've wanted to do like goalies of the future, do more of those videos, and goaltender flash in the pan kind of things. And of course, Carey, Blaine Locker would be another one.
If you had to pick a song or songs to describe your favorite teams over the years, what would those songs be?
Pick a song to pick for my favorite teams. I guess for Boston to be She Effin' Hates Me, because everybody hates them. Vancouver to be Loser by Beck, because they've never won the Stanley Cup. And for Dallas, Legs by ZZ Top, because when they scored the goal, the foot was in the crease. So, and ZZ Top's from Texas. So there you go.
Do you think Bettman has a favorite team?
Probably Washington.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
He goes to a lot of Washington games. Honestly, I think the Capitals are probably his favorite team. If he has one.
Can't you do a live reaction of the game while covering the TV? No, we don't want to.
Technically, yes. Do I want to? No. No.
Remember that Shannon wants to be able to watch the game. There's that. And then when you turn all of the sound off, it makes it so it is very hard for him to watch the game, especially if I'm asking questions. It makes it difficult, and we'd rather not.
Yep.
And we don't want to do anything that could be seen as trying to go around the copyright rules.
I don't want to have to email that guy again on Monday.
Yeah, we're not pushing it.
So tripped it
just
again.
Pass. And yeah, covering the TV, that would make it so Shannon couldn't watch the game, which is what he does. So
yeah. I know I used to turn it around, but again, it just I'm not even gonna risk it. It's not worth it.
Nope. So this is what you get. You get to talk to us.
Hi everybody. Yay. I make sure I wear like a fun jersey when I do these too, though. So I'm
there
wearing
you go.
Whalers.
So now you get a look at Shannon wearing his fun jersey.
Okay. What did I say about the passive aggressive?
That's passive aggressive.
That's what I said it was. Why are you repeating what I just said? You're just stop that.
Shannon does enough for us. We don't need him missing games for us.
I'm gonna go to Casa more, because I'm telling you, they understood me over there.
Such a dork.
It's different.
Okay.
You should meet this Mercedes girl. You'd like her.
I don't know that I would. Okay. Who do you think signs Pietrangelo?
Somebody's going to sign him for too much. I'm already picking that as the contract that we may be looking back on a year from now and saying, wow, they spent way too much and there's too much term. Because Pietrangelo is great in St. Louis. I love the guy, but we don't know how it's going to work for him anywhere else. And not only that, but how long is he going to play at that level? Like, he had one of his best years statistically in his career this year. I think there's going to be some disappointment. I think there's going to be buyer's remorse. So we'll see what happens.
Have you pre-ordered the PS5?
Absolutely not. Nope.
Mm-mm.
Not for $500. No, I think it's $500 US too. I think it's more than that in
like
Canada.
1,000 here. Pretty sure.
I think Canada's retail.
Sure
I think it's 700 or something. It's like, but I don't care. I'm just like, no, I'm not buying that. Even though the new Gran Turismo is only going to be on that, which is heartbreaking. But Gran Turismo hates me anyways. It's stupid Lamborghinis, their crappy, stupid ridiculousness. It's so I hate racing Lamborghinis. It's like they're these giant boats that have got these 800 like horsepower engines and they can't make a corner to save their damn lives. They're just, who designs a car that goes 300 miles an hour and can't corner? I don't understand. Don't understand it.
Shannon has to save up for a Wild Wing. He can't spend that much money on a jersey. No, I can't imagine even saving up for it, spending that much on a jersey.
Nope.
There's a reason.
I don't spend that much on a computer.
We don't have like
the computer I use for the channel that I got, a year ago now, I think I got these computers. I paid, I think, $400 for it. And that to me, I was like, man, that's okay. There might have been $6, but yeah, that's too much for a jersey. Those are like $1,000 if you're getting the real deal.
Why can't Shannon ever do a live stream by himself? Too bad. You're stuck with me. It's a rough life. Sorry, package deal.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lars, for taking the Batman video. Thank you, THG team.
Lars is a pretty good guy. The Swedish candy video was fun to make yesterday. So I know I may have mispronounced a word here and there in that video.
It's possible.
But I thought it was interesting that all their candy has soccer in it.
Such a dork.
I mean, I know they love soccer over there, but all of their candy has soccer in it.
Pretty sure that means sugar.
Pretty sure you mean sugar.
Because I'm so
it's
sweet, right?
Number one ingredient is soccer. It's no wonder they're so much better at it than Canada, because we don't put soccer in our food. Maybe we need to start.
Okay. Brian Noonan scored that goal in Game 7 in 1994, not Messier. Why does no one ever say that? And I'm a Rangers fan. Much love from New York.
Ah, yes, Brian Noonan, who along with Stefan Matteau had to go from city to city with Mike Keenan. It was so weird. So bizarre how he would take the same guys with him.
Shannon needs Yvonne to keep him in line for live streams. Yeah, you guys be getting all sorts of crazy stuff.
Maybe. I mean, well, okay. So if you look back, so how far back do we want to look? 1960. Oh, okay, so back when Elvis Presley had live streams back in 1966.
Salta.
See, so remember back in 1966
no,
when
I don't,
Elvis Presley?
I'm not that old.
Wow. Okay.
You might be that old.
Ouch.
But I am not.
So Elvis Presley, when he had live streams before even the day of the internet, with Lisa Marie.
Oh my goodness, Shannon.
And Priscilla.
Where does he get the stickers? Which stickers?
These ones.
I'm gonna guess online. These are a memory game.
These are a memory game.
These are.
I've got 2 of each.
You know the game Memory?
Yeah.
It's to play a game.
Yep.
And I got them at London Drug, and the game was like $10.
Yep.
And so I got 2 of them, one for the kids to play and one to turn into magnets.
Yep.
So.
And then the other ones I just buy them on eBay.
Yeah, I got them at London Drug.
I got a set. Well, not a set. I found a bunch of old vending stickers today. I was like, okay, I'll buy those. So I just find stickers on eBay, mostly.
Did you do your own hair? Shannon needs a little help to do his hair because he can't see behind him.
I mean, there's not much on top for me to deal with, but
I'm gonna guess you meant my hair. Yes, I don't. We don't go places.
She does her own
hair.
Go
around people. That'd be expensive. And when you have to color, well, I don't have to. But when you color it a fun color, it fades really quick. So you do your hair frequently, and
not to name drop, but we did do Billie Eilish's hair the other day, which was
in a different country, and
No, Billie lives out. Billie's actually here. She's been staying in your mother's
we keep
your
her
mother's
in the shed.
bedroom.
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
Yeah. That's where after I open all these boxes.
Then we can just have boxes of cards.
Right, but I'll label it so we'll know what's in there.
Wallpapered the house with
I just find it hilarious that buying these boxes of cards, I spent less money now than I would have back in the 90s when they came out. They were worth more then than they are now.
Hello, team. Hello from Australia. Thank you. Thank you for the channel. Watch every day. You are my hockey news updates for this side of the globe.
Thank you. Greatly appreciated.
What's our age gap? I think Shannon's about 40 years older than me. It's pretty close.
You're dead to me.
Oh, did we skip or something?
What are you skipping now?
No, the channel. Did it come back?
Did what come
Yep,
back?
it came back. Apparently, it froze again. It did that the other day. It doesn't freeze on our end.
Yeah. It's not the computer. It's on something on their end.
I don't know what you guys missed. So, probably Shannon rambling about random crack.
That's what it is.
Plug the website. Yeah, we have a website.
Do I have a Blues jersey?
Do you?
A Blues jersey?
Or are you asking about a specific
I have
one?
all of the Blues jerseys. Pretty much all of the Blues jerseys. All of them.
Yeah, if it freezes, generally, if you refresh it, it fixes it. I don't know why it would have froze, but
yeah, no idea
on our end.
No idea.
Okay, stop spamming the chat. That's obnoxious. My goodness.
Yeah, and I just answered that.
No, stop it. My goodness. Okay. Jealous of your Habs jerseys.
I have every Habs jersey I wanted now. I have them all.
He
Even
has
have the barber
almost
pole.
every single jersey you can think of. I know it's kind of ridiculous.
Yep.
He has a stupid amount of jerseys. That's why I'm always telling him, stop looking on that website. You have them all.
But like I explained to you, the 40% off on Cool Hockey, that was a really awesome deal.
Are you watching the game tonight? Are you going to watch the hockey game tonight?
Nope. We're going to watch Love Island.
Sure, it's the final. Nah.
Even though Dallas is in it, I couldn't have less interest. I don't care if they win the Stanley Cup. I've been meaning to make you watch the Godzilla with Matthew Broderick from 1995, so we'll throw that on tonight. Forget the whole hockey game. We can do a review on Entertainment Guy that'll make 35 cents.
Right, yeah.
Totally make up for that.
It's totally worth it. Oh, that reminds me. I was going to watch Bill and Ted with the kids.
Yeah, you were.
Mm-hmm. We can pretend we're learning things.
Well, it's kind of learning history. It's more accurate than my rambles.
Only game one you don't have to watch. Shannon watches everything, even the ones during the season that are really, really boring.
I watch every game.
Even the boring ones.
I watch every game. So if it's 10 in the morning and it's Columbus and Philadelphia, I'm up and I'm watching it.
If the Bruins don't re-sign Krug, what should they do with the extra cap? Pietrangelo?
Not if Pietrangelo wants 9. If Pietrangelo wants 9+, keep Krug. Because I don't think Krug's going to cost 9. It's going to be a challenge because Boston isn't exactly a team with tons of cap space. And so they can't really afford to give Pietrangelo 9. And again, they've got an internal structure that if they give somebody 9, 10 million, they give some ridiculous number, it screws up the whole internal structure. And it throws off the messaging that if you're going to play in Boston, it's because you want to win and you're willing to give up some money to do that.
Do you think Sagan will be out in Dallas if he does not produce in the finals?
No, because I think Sagan's been playing hurt. I think that's what it is.
I really think Shannon needs to do that calendar and sell it on his website. I know, right? That'd be great.
No.
What? Be great.
No.
What are the cats' names? We have a cat Instagram. I'm sure somebody will link it. That I try and remember put the cats' names. Got Bear.
Shadow.
Got Shadow.
Pixel's in her
down
bed.
here. She's white and black. And then I don't think Lily Bell's in here now. She's the tortoise-shelled one. She's the little chicken kitty. Do you have dogs?
No. We have 4 cats.
We have 4 cats, a rabbit, and 3 kids. We're good.
The neighbors' chickens are gone, though.
Yeah, our
Sadly.
neighbors are
no more chicken videos. The chickens are gone.
They moved their chickens. There, see, I knew somebody. There you go. Lars did it. I knew somebody.
Thanks, Lars.
Would link the.
See, that's why he makes more money than you do. Because he has
pay
all
him
the
in
links.
Canadian chocolate.
He makes more than you do.
Trade the 3 kids for a dog. We would save a lot of money. I think we would owe the people that we gave our kids to, though.
I don't. Yeah,
They'd probably just bring them back, drop them on the doorstep.
A lot of no thanks.
Yeah, he's too loud.
Oh yes, yes.
Are the cats always in your man cave? Those 2 usually are.
Pixel now is.
She is a lot of time. Lily Bell follows me everywhere I go.
Pixel has realized if she's in my room, she doesn't get bothered. The kids tend to bother the cats. So since Pixel figured out I don't bother her and I don't pet her unless she actually comes over and asks for a pet, she's decided she's adopting me. I am now her human.
Yes.
She tries to chase off Bear and Shadow because this is her room now, and they can leave and find somewhere else to stay. This also means Pixel started sleeping in the bed with us, which means she wakes us up
Oh
purring.
my gosh. Means in the middle of the night, maybe I move or something. She has to stand right here with her little tiny kitty paws, so it's really heavy, and she has to like put her nose in my mouth. Hi.
Oh,
Love
did I
you.
wake you?
While you're awake, you should pet me. And if I don't pet her, she starts doing the headbutt. Excuse me, you're not petting me. Let me put my nose in your mouth, which is usually Bear's job.
She did that with me the other day. She woke me up at 6 a.m. just purring.
Hi, love you. She
right next to my head, and she's purring,
loud.
and I'm like, why are you awake?
So loud.
Why are you waking me up?
Yeah, Pixel is the loudest purr. She starts purring if you look at her. But yeah.
Yep. She does.
Likes to, it has to be like 3 a.m, nose in my mouth. Hi. I love you.
Did I wake you?
Pet me. And I have to, Kate, lay down or something. I'm going to have cat print bruises. Oh, and then
this is why
right here.
When people say cats aren't affectionate, it's like, you haven't had a cat, have you?
Oh my gosh.
She appreciates that we don't bother her.
So her, it's in the morning. Bear is when we're trying to go to bed. She has to lay right here with, hi.
Yeah.
Just, oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's no boundaries with her.
Here, let me be right between you two.
Yeah.
She's awake because she sleeps all day just to be ready to wake you up. Yes.
This is true. She's sleeping now.
We love you.
Do you notice I gave her that toy too, the one with the feathers? I found that when I was cleaning up in here.
Pixel loves toys with feathers.
Yeah,
those
feathers.
are her favorite. And since we don't go to stores, I haven't found feather toys for her for a while. She also loves the little catnip pillows, and it's so funny. Yeah. She's a weird cat. We have 4 weird cats.
I was gonna say
we do. We have weird cats.
You can't make it sound like she's the weird cat.
No,
because they're all weird cats.
No.
Hey, Shadow.
Does she ever bring you dead rats as a gift? No, our cats don't go outside.
Would.
Our cats
she would if she could.
Yeah, they don't go outside, so they don't find treasures to bring us. She's the main one. She likes to play with spiders though,
and moths.
Yeah, catnip. She loves catnip. I caught her the other day. We get little catnip pillows, or I make them, and she was laying on her back with the pillow on her stomach, and it was the funniest thing.
Sweetie, how are you?
Who wins the Stanley Cup this year?
Probably Tampa. That was my prediction before the playoffs started, and I didn't have the finalists right. I thought it was going to be Colorado, but yeah, it's probably going to be Tampa.
Tune in for hockey. Stay for the Cats.
Agreed. Yep.
Favorite wrestler of all time?
Bret the Hitman Hart. The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be.
Do you think the Blackhawks have a bright future ahead?
Yes. Kirby Dach's fantastic. I think they're going to regret the Yoki Haru trade sooner rather than later, but yeah, I think they've got a pretty bright future, and DeBrincat has to bounce back.
Thoughts on Manny Malhotra moving to Toronto?
Manny has been a really good assistant coach. I think at some point he's going to be a head coach in the NHL. One of the smartest players I saw play the game. Very good defensively. Never panned out offensively, but he didn't need to. One of the best face-off men ever, and kind of proved he could play with one eye after the horrible injury in Vancouver, and his career continued after that. So I have nothing but the utmost respect for Malhotra, and I think he'll do really well in Toronto.
More of the Cats. Remember when people used to say you shouldn't have the cats in the videos, and now people want to see more cats in the videos?
3 years ago, the number one comment was, if you want to be taken seriously doing this, you can't have cats in your videos. Yeah,
and now we have to, if the cats aren't here, people, where's the cats?
Yeah.
Why don't you have cats?
Yeah, I downvoted this video because Shadow's not in it. And
we get a lot of people that will share pictures, usually like on Facebook, of their cats watching Shannon and the cats, and that's really funny. And people do email us pictures of their cats too.
Yes.
It's great. And then on Discord, every once in a while, just the conversation turns into, hey, everybody share your pets. It's great because that's what's important. Shadow looks just like my cat. Love it.
What's that look for? Why am I getting a disgusted look? I'm getting judged.
Why
you go.
would the NHL need a 3-month off season?
To make sure that they're coming back at a time. See, so there's two things that the NHL is looking at. They're looking at safety, which I think the NFL is showing you can have a league exist during this. But they also want to make sure there's some sort of attendance, whether it's partial attendance or full. And the further back you can push the start of that regular season, the more money you're going to make. So if let's just say that we're in a position where we can have half crowds by March. Okay, so from everything from March on, you're going to make more money. So if you can push that regular season into, say, January, then you've got an extra month. Whereas if you have it in December, you're losing that month with almost full crowds. It's going to vary by location. Some cities won't allow them at all, and other cities will allow half crowds and whatnot. And this is where, pooling their money together works for the NHL. But that's the only reason why at this point they'd be looking at pushing it back a little bit. I think logistically they understand that either they're going to have a bubble set up again, which they're not in favor of. And I don't think the players are necessarily going to be in favor of that either, because they had trouble getting families in for the conference finals and finals that they hadn't anticipated. And so they're going to want a more, not a baseball approach, but more of the football approach. Baseball approach was, whatever, we'll just exist. But baseball's gotten better too. Since the canceled games about a month ago, baseball's got way, way better. So it's shown that with the right steps, players can keep themselves safe. Sports can exist. But for the NHL, the further back you push it, the more you're letting other leagues find out through their faults, and you get to fix it, and you have a better chance of having fans in attendance and making more money.
People are talking about their kitties on here.
Yeah, that's the way that works. Any
asked
conversation we have becomes cats or food.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Somebody asked if we like orange kitties. Of course. We like all the kitties.
I've never had an
I had an
cat.
orange kitty. When I was little growing up, I had a cat. Her name was Leaf. And she was an orange cat with white paws and white belly. And
I was always
adorable.
sad. There was a girl lived about across the street from me, and she had a
all
cat
the
named
kitties.
Sam that was an orange cat. But Sam liked to sleep on the street.
Oh.
So eventually that caught up with him.
No.
Yes.
Oh.
It was really sad because I remember as a little kid, I'd go out and I'd be like, "Hi, Sam," and he'd be sleeping right in the middle of the road.
Right. Oh, God.
And so I'd, go over and shoo him off and be like, "Come over here. Hey, okay." And then he'd saunter back over and back down on the road. And it's like, okay, this is a bad spot. That's what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
we like all the kitties. I don't think there's any kind of kitties we don't like.
Nope.
Shannon's Instagram might be full of cats. And he frequently shows me pictures and little videos of cats all the time. Yes.
This is true.
We like all the kitties. Yes. Could this put some teams in bankruptcy?
Probably. I would think that there will be that, but again, you have revenue sharing in the NHL, and it works. See, like this. So like I'll come across a picture like this in my Instagram, and I'll be like, "Hey, Yvonne, check this out."
That's all the time. To our cats. Any cats eat lasagna.
And the kitty with the bird.
No kitties eat lasagna.
Did I show you this one?
No.
Watch this.
He wants to smell him, and the bird's kind of.
The cat just rears back like, okay. Cat's gonna eat that bird at some point.
Yes.
But like this.
Thoughts on Caillou? No. I never. Oh my gosh.
You see a little floof.
I never let my kids watch Caillou.
Shadow was this size when I got him. He fit right in the palm of my hand.
So the kids have never seen Caillou, and I think that's a great stance to keep. Oh, my cat passed away 2 years ago tomorrow. Oh, that's very sad.
Oh God, it's a Lily Bell.
Name a new kitty, Dallas. Is it a roly-poly?
Yeah, it's a roly-poly cat.
Our Lily Bell. She's my kitty Shadow. She's a ball of cat. She's a big kitty. I mean, she doesn't actually weigh very much more than Shannon. Shadow, but she's so tiny of a frame that she's just a ball of cat. So if she just jumps on you, and she does, because she'll just decide, and I'm going to sit on you right now.
Yeah, she's not on the stairs. I thought maybe she'd be on the landing, but she's not there.
Is Caillou the annoying bald-headed kid cartoon? Yes, Caillou's obnoxious.
Caillou doesn't have hair because he's not allowed to have hair or love.
It's awful. It's an awful.
His body realizes he's a terrible human being.
Awful.
So
no.
He was the whiniest kid in the history of cartoons.
But in 2 weeks, I'm getting a kitty. Oh, that's exciting. You'll have to share pictures. So we always like pictures of people's cats.
Yes.
And dogs and all the other animals. We like it when people share pictures of their animals.
She likes chinchillas too.
Oh my gosh, they're so cute and tiny little poof balls and they're soft. So,
and guinea pigs.
I love guinea pigs. I do really like guinea pigs. Where can I get a Thrashers jersey?
eBay. Yep, eBay. Just watch for fakes when you're on eBay.
How do we share pictures? Either on the Hockey Guy Facebook page or Discord works the best. Yeah, Discord frequently turns into sharing pictures of animals. I'm getting a dog for my birthday tomorrow. Oh my goodness, that's exciting. That's great. My cousin just got a cat. She's so cute. Her name is Callie.
Oh.
That's fun. I also have a giant schnauzer whose name is Falcor. That's great. That's fantastic. How could you root against my Bolts? Because
it's not as much that I root against them as just they've been against teams that I've cheered for, and it's the underdog thing. And with Dallas, I have to cheer for Dallas. Dallas is one of my 3 teams. I have to.
That's true.
A Pixel. She doesn't look happy.
Because you picked her up. She was busy sleeping on her cardboard.
No, she wasn't sleeping. She was having a bath. I wouldn't pick her up when she was sleeping.
Could the Sharks get rid of GM Wilson if the Sharks don't turn it around?
Yes. I would think that if they have another really rough season this upcoming year, Wilson's probably gone.
Hey, Shannon, THG crew, not a crazy hockey fan, but I like your channel. Have a pint on me when the pubs reopen. Greetings from Galway, Ireland. It'll be a while.
Like that song, Galway Girl.
And they just reshut them. So,
like that Ed Sheeran song, Galway Girl. What do you? Yo, seriously, we've watched the video together. You know where it's first person, and she's dancing with him. It's Ed Sheeran. You know from yesterday.
Yeah, the redheaded guy.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Never mind. I
don't listen to that music. Okay.
Hi.
Oh, there's Pear.
That music, like, it's so different from everything else we listen to.
It is.
It's in the same vein as Tool.
No, it's not.
Yep, it's the same. You just wait until someday he replaces Maynard when Maynard retires. And they go with Ed Sheeran singing for Tool. And then it'll all be folk music. I can't wait for the folk version of Schism.
Oh my gosh. No.
Oh, yes.
Shit.
It's going to happen.
Would Krug work in Vegas?
Yes, probably. Because he's pure offense, and you've got some guys in Dallas that can play the defensive side of it. So as long as you've got somebody who can cover for him, and I think Martinez could cover for him, I think it would work in Vegas. The question is the cap space. Now, what are you doing, Pixel? Why are you hissing? Oh, Shadow. That's why she's
Since
hissing.
You have a favorite team in the Pacific, the Central, and the Atlantic divisions, who would you choose as a favorite team in the Metropolitan Division?
If I had to choose in the Metro, probably Carolina. I would think Carolina would be the highest rated in the Metro. Pixel. He's allowed to exist.
Tool MTV Unplugged. That would not work very well. I mean, if it's just Maynard.
What if, like, just for like a guest, just for one night, John Bon Jovi sang for them? Just for one night. Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift sang Tool for one night.
No.
Just her singing sober.
No.
And then for the bad words, she could substitute in like really fun words instead of the bad words.
No.
Because, you can't have the bad words in there on the MTV. So she could substitute in all kinds of words, and she could like change the lyrics of songs so it's all about ex-boyfriends. That could be great. Because every Taylor Swift song is about an ex-boyfriend.
Wait, is Josh on here? He'll tell you that that's not true.
It is true.
I don't know. I haven't listened to very many of her songs, so
Yvonne, I love your sweater. Thanks. I like it too.
Pixel. He has the right to exist. And yes, I say this when there's no camera on. Because that's all it is. He's not doing anything. She just hisses because he exists.
Breathing. He's looking at me. He's walking in the room.
And I've been working on Shadow and Pixel and trying to get them to get along, and it's just, she just won't do it.
If the Red Wings can't get Krug, will they go after TJ Brody?
Brody would be a poor man's version of Krug. I would think it'd be a lower cap hit. And it might be a pretty good signing as well. Hamonic could be a good value signing in the offseason. Hamonic is really under the radar. He didn't come back for the after the pause. Could be a really good value signing. I think the best signings in October could be those ones.
I called it. See, I knew Josh would tell you. See? Not true. If
Isn't Taylor's newest album all about like a current boyfriend or the next boyfriend's or...
See, I remember what Josh said.
I like Taylor Swift.
Not all of her songs.
I do. I think Taylor Swift, I think she's fine. I like her as a person. Her music's okay.
I don't have much of an opinion other than I don't like the songs. I should start
like naming Avril Lavigne songs and say those are Taylor Swift songs just to make people's brains explode.
That sounds like something you would do. Yeah.
Absolutely, yes. But I won't do that now.
Give the lightning some love, bruh. Yeah, bruh.
I don't really have a problem with Tampa.
No.
I never have. They knocked out Boston. I didn't get mad at them. They could very well knock out Dallas. I'm not going to get mad at them.
They're not a team that Shannon dislikes.
No, they're right around the middle.
How much do you think you've spent on jerseys? Not as much as people think.
Nope. Just find as many deals as possible.
Yeah, he doesn't pay full price. I think he's paid full price on like 2.
Yep. It's very rare.
Yeah.
It's very rare.
It's not as much.
It has to be one I can't find any other way.
Instead of cleaning the house, I'm hanging out with you guys.
That's a good call.
Good use of time.
That's a good call.
It's for your mental health. Socialization when socialization is in short supply.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's standard.
Important.
It's an important standard to have.
Agreed.
As standards.
Would Patrick Laine be a good player for the Habs? No.
She doesn't want to lose Laine. I don't know how long Laine stays in Winnipeg, but Laine became a better all-around player this year. I think Laine is going to be worth a lot of money at the end of that deal. If somebody gets him from Winnipeg, you're going to pay a lot in terms of assets right now and a lot of money a couple years down the road. He would be a fantastic pickup for any team in the league because I still think there's 50 goal potential there, and now he's a better all-around player too.
How big is Anvil in Canada? I don't know who Anvil is.
Anvil was a hair metal band in Canada back in the 80s.
Are you being serious or are you making crap up?
Why would I be making crap up? I don't do that
all the time.
I don't do that.
Yes, you do.
Not about Anvil. Anvil is not a big band in Canada, but there is a movie about Anvil. And so they've got kind of this cult status now, which is kind of fun. I wasn't a huge fan of Anvil back in the 80s. They just had the one hit that I can remember. But, I mean, people know who they are.
I don't know who they are.
She didn't listen to hair metal either, though.
No.
Anvil sang Metal on Metal. Metal on Metal was their song.
Okay,
I'm not going to play it because I don't want to get a copyright for that. That's no. But Metal on Metal was their song.
Hair metal, no. Did you get your Habs Centennial jersey from Sports Check?
The Centennial jerseys, which is the one with the leaf on the front, the green leaf, as as the barber shop one. I got them both from Van City Sports. Van City Sports had them, and I got it as soon as I could. Metal on Metal by Anvil.
What do you think of the Red Wings goalies?
Bernier's better than he gets credit for. Jimmy Howard, it's done. I would be very surprised if he gets another contract.
Aside from Vancouver, who would you want to see win the next cup from any personal opinions?
Who would I want to see get the next Stanley Cup? Honestly, I think it would be great if any Canadian team won the next Stanley Cup. If it can't be them and if it can't be Vancouver, it would be nice to see the long-suffering fans in Buffalo finally get a championship. That would be a fantastic story.
If Edmonton misses the playoff again next year, do you see a massive overhaul of the team?
If you can, I mean, it's for Ken Holland. I mean, what parts do you move out? What parts do you keep? And again, I mean, you're not going to move Draisaitl. You're not going to move McDavid. So there's limited other big parts you can move. You're not going to move Nurse, I wouldn't think, or Ethan Bear. So I think they're kind of in a position now where if they make any moves, it's going to have to be minor unless they decide, well, we're going to move Draisaitl. Have to be something that dramatic.
Who dislike this? Somebody dislikes all the videos. There's
Yeah,
usually
you have
about
to.
7
There has to be.
dislikes.
There has to be.
It's the same people or
Yeah.
person that has multiple users because it'll all of a sudden, and there's 4. Oh, there he is.
But it's okay because
he got a hobby here.
Mr. Beast posted a video.
It's funny.
Mr. Beast posted a video.
Because it doesn't do anything.
Yesterday was it? Mr. Beast posted this. So he's got a huge channel. He's got like millions and millions of followers.
All right.
And so he had a merchandise shirt that he was giving off, and he said, "All right, if you buy over this period, I'll autograph it personally." So either because people love him or they hate him, 36,000 shirts he had to sign personally. So he hasn't made videos in weeks. He hasn't made a video in weeks. So he said, "Here's why I haven't made a video in weeks." And it's this warehouse full of t-shirts, and he's signing them. And it goes through like his shoulder was killing him, and they had to get like this ergonomically designed stand for him to sign all these shirts. But yeah, it was thousands and thousands of shirts. But that's got 12,000 downvotes.
Of course it does.
So he's got 1.2 million upvotes and 12,000 downvotes. I thought 12,000 people. A video of him autographing shirts for fans who bought them. Or who just hate him and want to see him sign these shirts.
If you go look at the videos, all of Shannon's videos on both channels,
and when I looked at
downvotes, every single one.
When I looked at,
they're people that are subscribed and get notifications, so it's okay. It just adds to the number of views.
When I looked at,
so they're helping the channel out.
Simon Miller, who's my favorite YouTuber. Period. Simon Miller is just the greatest. He's the one that does he's the bald asshole that does the. That's what he calls himself. On What Culture, he does the wrestling videos.
Okay.
He does the ups and downs.
Okay.
And his videos have like hundreds of downvotes. I'm like, seriously, how can Simon Miller have hundreds of downvotes? He's a delightful human being. I don't. So, yeah, I don't see downvotes as a big deal.
And
I don't.
And
he's fantastic.
We do know that some of them are the same people that have several profiles.
Yeah.
So that's nice of them to click on the video multiple times and give all the videos multiple views, so they bump up all the numbers.
Yep.
Downvotes do absolutely nothing.
They really don't. They used to, but they don't. So
it's very nice of them to.
It's like downvoting comments doesn't do anything on YouTube anymore because people were abusing it. So YouTube had to make it so it didn't do anything.
Helps out the numbers. It adds to the subscribers.
Yep.
It adds to the view count. So it's people that don't have hobbies.
Absolutely.
Check the Hurricanes Twitter.
Oh, what do the Hurricanes do now?
I'm sure it's funny.
Carolina has their Twitter game's been fantastic.
Oh, it skipped out. Who's winning game 1?
Oh.
Oh, what? Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Canes fans, cast your vote on who we should support in the 2020 Stanley Cup Finals. That was yesterday, so people are saying they should vote for Dallas.
That's funny.
So they changed their logo to green and black.
You should do a video of your hockey superstitions and traditions.
I'm planning on doing something like that soon. So yeah, there's wear green, go Stars, and then for now.
If you don't like a video, downvote it twice. Yeah.
Basically.
Go in, watch it again.
I haven't I've never downvoted a video. No, there's a couple of videos I downloaded, but there was a reason for that. They were misleading titles.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah. Misleading titles, and so that was when I hit the downvote. that's kind of what they were made for originally, I think, was so you could identify videos that weren't what the title said they were. And then it just changed because the internet changes
Kane's
things.
Twitter game is the best in the league. They are fun.
Yes, they are definitely fun.
Wildcard Chaos Squad needs to stick together.
Yep.
Where's the Columbus next season forward video?
I did that a while ago. I know I've done Columbus because I've gone through every team, and I know for Columbus, I had the Cannon logo on the board, and I was wearing the Cannon jersey, and I just didn't have my Cannon hat for that video. So I know I've done it because I've gone through and done them for everybody. If it's not in the playlist, I can go through and update the playlist, but I know I've done it.
Who, in your opinion, is more top 6 capable, McCann or Kapanen?
Kapanen. McCann, I like McCann from his time in Vancouver, but I would say for top 6, I would give Kapanen the better. And clearly they believe in Kapanen because they traded a first to get him.
I forgot Tex and Anderson in that video. He can't have everybody.
Yeah, I didn't forget them. I don't go through every single player. I talk about the top 6. Texier's not top 6 next year. Anderson's not top 6 either. And so, yeah, and then it's just a basic overview for next year because otherwise it becomes way too long.
Lars linked the video.
Thanks,
Ta-da!
Lars.
He's got to have like multiple windows open, so he's like.
I just find it weird that when I don't mention a player, people go, "Oh, then you forgot him." Nah.
He can't mention everybody, or the video would be really, really long and really boring.
Yep.
Who are the Sharks going to sign this offseason? I just want Jumbo to get a ring.
With the amount of money they've got in their blue line, I don't know that the Sharks are going to be in the market to try to fix it. And I don't know that you can fix it with this year's UFA market. I don't think that spending a bunch of money with the problems they've got into by spending a bunch of money, I don't think it fixes it. I think they're going to have to make some trades to fix things.
Top 2 goalies you think have the best shot of ending up in Seattle during the expansion draft?
If the Canucks re-sign Markstrom, I think Demko would have a real chance, or Markstrom, whoever they don't protect. Outside of that, if Pittsburgh didn't fix their goaltending problem between now and then, I could see Murray or Jari being the guy, but they're probably going to fix it between now and then.
Season still start in December?
That's the hope, but it probably doesn't start December 1st. It may start at Christmas. So basketball is talking about starting their season December 25th. We may see hockey start their season on, I would say, December 26th.
Do you think the Wings were the last team to be able to buy a cup?
I don't think the Wings ever really bought one. I mean, they had the money, but they had to spend it wisely. And I think for Detroit, they realized that where they had to spend it in the right areas and on the right players. They tried buying a cup. It didn't work. The last year they won it, I don't view them as having bought it that year. They had really good chemistry and they had the right players. There's no way you could put that team together under a salary cap system like now. But to me, buying the cup is more of what the Rangers were trying to do after 94, where they would just throw money and money and money, and it just didn't work.
Where could Crawford go if he left Chicago?
It'd have to be somewhere that they're willing to either sign him for the money he wants or for the term he wants. And I'm not sure what the term he wants is. I would think just for a couple of years, maybe he wants $5 million a year. Minnesota would be tempted because they're in the same division and they want to upgrade their goaltending. San Jose might be in the market as well. But, it's a tough sell. I can't see the Islanders doing it, even though Grace is going because they got Sorokin coming in. Maybe Ottawa, if Ottawa thinks they're going to be close next year. If Melnick's willing to spend the money, they've got the cap space.
Do you think Dylan Cozen will score 15 to 20 goals with Buffalo next season?
Cousins should hit 15. I would think Dylan Cousins hit 15 or 20. I think that's a pretty safe bet. He may not even start at center. They might be better off starting him on the wing and then transition him to center later on. Bringing in Eric Stahl means he doesn't have to play second line center. It doesn't mean he's not going to get top 6 minutes.
Do you think Line A asks for a trade if he stays on the second line without a center? He's already frustrated to play low minutes with no center, basically.
He didn't have that problem this year. This year he was on the first line. I don't think Line A is going to want to trade, but I think if Winnipeg feels like he's going to ask too much money, I think Winnipeg will make him available. This last contract was hard enough for them to get negotiated. The next one could be really, really tough for them.
Do you think the Bruins should sign Dadonov if we don't re-sign Krug?
And then you end up spending a lot of money on forwards. Dadonov could end up being a pretty expensive forward. You'd have to sell him on the idea of wanting to win and do that more than making the most money you can make on the market. Dadonov's an excellent forward, but if they can't keep Krug, they're going to need to replace him on the blue line. They do not have a blue line that's good enough. Without Krug and without Chara, that blue line is not good enough to compete in the West, or in the East, I should say. And they'll struggle without Krug and Chara.
Jake Virtanen for Domi, straight up. Would you do it?
The Canucks would. There's no way in hell Montreal would do it. Montreal wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. Domi is a much better player than Virtanen. Domi, properly motivated with the right line mates, he can score you 65, 70 points. I don't know that Virtanen ever hits that level.
Sagan's career points twice as high as in the regular season as in the playoffs. Is this who he is in the playoffs?
No, because this year's playoffs, it's an injury that's been bugging him. He's not 100%. When he was with Boston, he wasn't getting top minutes. So his points per game in the playoffs tend to be kind of skewed low, and it's understandable. The 2013 run for Boston, when he only had the 1 goal in 22 games, that was not a great showing for him. The other ones, you can explain why his numbers weren't that great.
Are the Bruins Cup contenders next year?
No.
Will the Oilers ever compete for a cup?
Ever.
The Islanders?
Ever.
Yeah, as long as they got Barry Trotz, they've got a shot.
Did I say Oilers?
Oilers?
Oilers.
Oilers? I had the wrong red and blue. Orange and blue.
Other team with the exact.
The Oilers, players. As long as they've got McDavid, they have that chance. McDavid is going to put that team on his back at some point, and he's going to drag them pretty far in the playoffs. As long as they get competent goaltending and good defense, that's really what's going to do it. It's their defense that let them down against the Blackhawks. The defense looked passive. It didn't look very good. They have to fix that.
Where are the top 3 places for Pietrangelo to land?
Oh, I have no idea right now. We'll get a better idea as we get closer to the 9th because teams are going to do buyouts. There's going to be trades, draft picks, and everything going on. Once we get closer to the 9th, we'll get a good feeling for which team's making room for him to sign there. I would expect rumors of Toronto. I would expect rumors of the Rangers. I would expect rumors with Pittsburgh. I would expect rumors of teams that they know you're going to click to read about. So Pietrangelo probably will end up somewhere that we're not talking about right now because there's going to be somebody who has the money to pay him that he feels like he has a chance to win there.
Chocolate milk or regular milk?
Chocolate.
No.
Chocolate. Why would you even think about Monsters drink regular milk instead of chocolate? You can add chocolate to almost anything. It's better. Seriously. Chocolate hockey. Think about it. It could totally work.
Okay. What is Darcy Kemper's trade value?
Way too high for them to even think about it. I'm not sure why there's all these rumors that Kemper's being traded. I think Arizona would be insane to trade Darcy Kemper. He was the reason that they got past Nashville. He was the reason they won a game against Colorado. I don't know. I think if Arizona trades him, I think they're insane. I think the goaltenders traditionally will get you back less in a trade than you think they're going to. So if you're like, okay, we can get a first and a prospect and a player. Nope. Goaltenders will always fetch less on the market than we think they're going to fetch. And I don't see how Kemper would necessarily get you back enough for Arizona that would justify trading him.
Who do the Sens replace Borrow with on defense?
They're probably going to look to replace from within. There's a lot of defensive prospects. Brandstrom's coming up. And then for that toughness on the blue line, they can probably sign somebody for $700,000 to $1 million who can fill in for the gritty part of it and the throwing hits and maybe throwing a punch here and there. You can get somebody for cheaper. I'm not sure how you replace that heart, though. He's got a ton of heart, and I think that's going to be really tough for them.
Chances the Flames trade for Antti Raanta?
If he's available, I think the Flames would be fools not to at least instigate it. I think there's a good chance.
Is this a one-off magical run for Dallas or Lane Roots to be a cup contender for the next few years? I saw that. There was a fly in here.
Yeah, I got him. He's all blocked off. I think that for Dallas, this is a one-off. I have not seen any indication that this team was going to go to a Stanley Cup final before this run. And I think they really, really should enjoy this right now and enjoy every moment of it, because we just don't know when it's going to come around again.
Hey, Yvonne, Vegas Rhonda here.
Vegas Rhonda.
Finally got a pic of myself, old of myself and my Scarlet. Aww. Hoping to see Tampa Bay take the cup. Also hoping to see you guys in person in Las Vegas one day for a night's game.
We're hoping next year.
Oh, I hope so.
We're fingers crossed. We're hoping for next year.
Yeah, we hope so too. We do. Who is your favorite quarterback, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
All time, it would be, I'm going to go with, and I guess current as well, Drew Brees, who was lucky enough to get out of the Chargers organization when he did. Drew Brees is probably my all-time favorite. And honorable mention, when I came into football, Dan Marino and Boomer Esiason, because his name's Boomer. So why wouldn't I cheer for a guy named Boomer? Because his name was Boomer. So, and then I became a Bengals fan in part because of Boomer, and it's kind of his fault that I'm a Bengals fan, and they're crap. They're always crap. Even when they win, they're still crap somehow.
Where do you see Letty going?
I don't think Letty's. I would be very surprised if Nick Letty leaves the Islanders. I'd be very surprised if he leaves the Islanders. The Islanders, with their depth on the blue line, that's kind of their strength, and I would be very surprised if Letty left.
Where is Pietro going? Do you think he's willing to take less money to go with the Leafs?
No. If he's not willing to take less money with St. Louis, I can't see him taking less money to go with Toronto. I don't see that happening. He's already said this is the market. He wants to get paid what he's worth. I can't see him taking less money for Toronto.
What do you think about Lightning's cap problems next season? Some analysts think Shirley or Sergachev, if not both, will be gone.
I think they'll figure out a way around it. We've been waiting for Armageddon with them for a long time. They always seem to find their way out of it. I think Johnson goes. I think Palat or Killorn are gone by the next season, and they'll move anybody around they have to in order to make sure that they hold on to Sergachev especially.
Thoughts on Anaheim's future after Getzlaf?
They'll be good. They've got Zegras coming up next year. They've got a good top draft pick this year. They very likely will be picking up a guy who may not make the lineup this season, but will make the lineup next season. I think the future is really bright for Anaheim. I do.
Somebody asked how my mom is doing. She's doing good. I talk to her frequently online. We can't see her because she's across the border right now. She's doing good. She's quite enjoying the apocalypse world. She likes being able to work from home and having all of her groceries delivered to her door. She's enjoying this not having to deal with people thing.
See, and for me, I've always been kind of antisocial, so it's not a huge deal for me.
For my mom, this
so
is kind of perfect. She's hoping she can always work from home and not have to go in like ever. She thinks getting her groceries just brought to her house is great. So she's good. She would like to be able to come up here and see her grandkids and visit.
Drop off all her crap.
I mean, because she's from here, so that part she has a bit.
We could get her to bring our crap out.
Ehlers to the Habs. What would it take? I would love to see him and Drouin reunited.
Ehlers is tricky because he had, I think, the best season of his career this year for Winnipeg. He's a huge part of Winnipeg. I would think if I was Kevin Cheveldayoff, I'd be more willing to move Laine than I would be to move Ehlers, because Ehlers is kind of an all-around fantastic player, and he's not going to cost the kind of money down the road that Laine will. And cap space is gold in this day and age. If for Ehlers, it would have to cost you. You'd have to think a prospect and a pick. I don't know which round because I don't know what the market's going to look like this year, but it's probably going to be a bit expensive because Ehlers is kind of fantastic. He kind of does similar to what Armia does with Montreal right now, just more finish.
It's 98 degrees in Vegas.
That's not too bad for Vegas.
That's really toasty. It's like
it's not bad for Vegas
here. I don't even have my phone. I think it's like 17 degrees.
It's not bad in Vegas.
So I got a hoodie on. I got my long sleeve hoodie
which is
on.
like 67 Fahrenheit, somewhere around 66, 67 Fahrenheit. So.
Yeah, close. Mid 60s.
Yep.
Shannon, do you like the new Bauer commercials?
Yes. Most commercials aren't aggravating me this year the way that they normally do. Normally by this point in the playoffs, especially if I'm seeing a commercial over and over, I start getting aggravated by it. But this year it hasn't happened so much. There's been some nice non-aggravating commercials for the most part.
Half an hour before the game.
Yep. And I'm going to have to shut this down pretty quick here because I got to get ready for that.
Yeah.
And all that other wonderful stuff.
Yep.
So.
What does Colorado need to take the next step in the playoffs?
Not much. Just stay healthy. They ran into a lot of injury problems against Dallas and just in general this year. It was just bad luck the way that all went down. They're close. They don't need to make any major changes.
Will Stammer's name go on the cup if he doesn't play at all in the playoffs?
Yes. Yeah, he played enough during the regular season. He'd still get his name on the cup.
People like your Wales jersey.
Whalers.
Whales.
No, there's a difference. There's a difference between a whale and a whaler.
No.
A little bit of a difference, just kind of, sort of.
Where do the Devils find defense?
The Devils' blue line is going to get better next year through both rookies coming in, and I think Subban's going to have a bounce back year. He's not going to get back to what he was as an all-star and all that, but Subban has to have a bounce back year. He had a miserable season. He was better in the second half of the season than he was in the first half, and I think the Devils' blue line is better than it gets credit for.
What was your first car? An Eagle station wagon with the wood paneling. I think it was a boat. I also had a Concorde. Thing was huge, but the seats were really comfortable. So
that's the important thing.
Yeah.
That's the important
That's what I got to drive in high school until I bought a car. And then I had a Mercury Tracer. And I drove that thing until it died. Best place to buy jerseys at a discount price. He's done videos.
I've done videos on where I get jerseys.
Yeah.
It's hard to find them at a discount usually, but right now, like Cool Hockey, they're 30% off. Ice jerseys used to be good, but they closed down. And then after that, it gets harder and harder to find them because Fanatics is just kind of buying up the entire marketplace and making it so that any other company that gets big enough, they just buy it, take it over, and turn it into Fanatics. It gets harder and harder to find them, at least for cheap, unless you're going through the counterfeits. But eBay, I use eBay. I find them secondhand through sellers, and I could find good jerseys through them. Just make sure you're seeing a lot of pictures and that they're not stock pictures because those can be signs of a fake.
Oh, yeah. Over and under 100 PIMs?
Paneling minutes.
Oh,
I'll say under. I'll say under 100 penalty minutes in the final. I think it'll be very physical, but I don't think it'll cross the line because the games are too important. And referees are going to let more go. So combination of those things, I think it stays under 100 penalty minutes in the final.
Prediction for the Maple Leafs next year?
They'll still be in the mix. They're not going to crash out. They can't. They have too much talent up front. But it's going to depend on what they do with that blue line and if they decide to change out their goaltending as to whether or not they're going to make a move up. I like Freddie Anderson. I think if they move on from Anderson, I think that's a mistake, but that's just me. They should still be in the mix. They should at the very least be in the running for third in that division, but I don't know that they're going to be a contender next year.
Where can I get a Stars jersey with the Stanley Cup patch? Check the NHL shop and didn't see any options.
Cool Hockey selling them with the patch now. So you can order them through Cool Hockey, but you do not get the discount because they're still in the playoffs. So that's the trade-off. 30% off if they're in the playoffs, or out of the playoffs, I should say it's 30% off. If they're in the playoff, there's no discount, which is just affecting Dallas and Tampa, but they will ship it with the patch on it.
Do you have the $5 footlong commercials?
Yes. Those are everywhere.
I haven't seen those for a long time.
Subway. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think, though, the actual $5 is just on the American side. I think the American side,
I don't generally watch the American feeds.
Right.
So
I think it's just on the American side.
That would probably explain why
I think $5 American side would be like $35 Canadian for a foot long.
So I don't see them because I usually watch the Canadian channels.
Anyways, guys, should probably close this up now because we're less than half an hour away from the game, and I gotta get that board all ready to go. I haven't erased all the stuff off the preview from that. And so again, remember there's videos on this channel on where to get jerseys from and all that, and I've got a whole jersey playlist that's huge on this channel. So which includes
about jerseys,
the rankings of them and all of that, and there will be a new rankings next year as well. So looking forward to throwing that together.
No Patrick Laine to Carolina.
No, I don't think Laine's going anywhere. If he does, it won't be until next year anyways. But anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. And again, we do this every Saturday. And next Saturday, there'll be very, very likely a game on because that would be game 5. And who knows, maybe that night they're awarding the Stanley Cup. But thank you guys for coming out. Thanks for all your support. And I will talk to you again soon.